Hello, in this video, I'm going to teach you the art of academic writing. I will show you the principles and connect you to the fun of academic writing. Let's take a quick look at what we are going to cover in this video. First, I'm going to take you through an introduction to academic writing. I will explain why mastering academic writing is important, not just for academics, but also for every lover of humanity. Then I'm going to explain what education is and why it is the singular end goal of academic workflows and writings. And we will head over to understand academic research workflows, vis-a-vis writing, the components and integration of academic research and writing, and I will show how the components help you achieve an exciting writing experience. And finally, I will show you how to present your research work, writing your manuscript, and curating your PowerPoint presentation like a pro. So let's do this. Academic writing is a way of representing or presenting academic workflows or research concepts, process, findings, and recommendations for easy accessibility and usability beyond academia. So it is important to note that this video is not just about academic report writing, it is more about innovative research projects and the integration of their outcomes in a way that is expressively useful to society. Thus, that begs to say that academic research works are embarked on ultimately for four purposes: growth, happiness, meaning, and significance in serving humanity. And likewise, individuals who are involved in academic research workflows do so with the intention to provide a solution to a problem, make a solution work more effectively, or prevent a problem from occurring. So, in the true light of things, as an academic, it is an obligation that your academic workflows aim to make the world a better place, to bring the world into a better experience of humanity, and to be conducted and reported as such. Therefore, academic research only serves its purpose when it takes its root from the street and releases its fruits for the street. That is, no academic research work should be embarked on for the primary purpose of increasing paper publications or promotion. An academic researcher should put his credibility first and make how his work translates seamlessly for street credibility and ultimate priority. In so doing, education automatically becomes not just the chief focus of academic processes, but also the primary intended outcome of every experience in academia. All right, so it is clear that as humans, our journey on earth is a result of the decisions we make. Our choices define our identities. And when it comes to decision making, it is a game of possibility versus probability. And the most preferred way to guarantee that we are on the right course is by following the path of utilization. Then we can be sure our focus is fixed on what contribution is this bringing from the start, rather, to the finish. And by so doing, we make the world a better place by default. All right. Now, let's take a look at what education is and why academic workflows and writings are imperative. Yes, we all know that citadels of learning give certificates to certify that an individual has finished all requirements, has fulfilled all requirements by the institution for the program he put in for, and that the individual is found worthy both in learning and character. The certificate comes in a paper form with the institution logo and security stating the candidate's name, grade, and the program completed. Then what is expected afterwards is the candidate being able to expressively engage in utilizing the knowledge acquired, which translates to the candidate proving his credibility. Now, the capacity of the candidate to credibly translate what the certificate says about him to contribute to a larger society explains that the individual has had education. But on the contrary, such an individual is just being schooled and not educated. Education is a process, a progressive experience that expands, enhances, and empowers individuals to think and act in the most supportive and empowering way for themselves and humanity. That is to say, the trust of every academic process and workflow at every material time should have no other purpose than to contribute to humanity, to make the world a better place. Similarly, all research ideas, concepts, and processes are to be initiated and run for that same purpose. So literally, this is the more reason many in academia, lecturers, researchers, or students most often face enormous frustration in their academic journey, because oftentimes they don't have a full grasp of the clarity of the contributory value of their work. And besides, they struggle with unstable focus here and there. So as individuals in academia, your role is, as Lenson Mandela said, education is the most powerful weapon which you can use to change the world. It is what we make out of what we have, not what we are given, that separate one person from another. So as individual in academia, we must always keep in mind that the academic journey is a journey of exploration to identify a gap, understand the gap, build capacity to fill the gap, and fill the gap. Now that we understand the purpose and the mandate of an academician, or the mandate as an academics, let's take a look at the academic research workflows vis-a-vis writing. The component of academic research workflow and writing, from introduction, literature review, materials and method, results, and discussion to conclusion. Each component plays a significant role in understanding a research concept, designing the research process, and its integration towards contributing value for humanity. And when this flow is not well understood, the research process is poorly conceptualized, and harnessing the research contribution becomes a struggle. In this section of this video, we are going to explain the component one after the other. Now, the intention here is to examine the academic research workflow in relation to the process of writing. To walk you through how academic research is conducted as it relates to the act of writing academic works, such as research papers, articles, or theses, and thus showing you how to achieve an exciting academic workflow and writing experiences. But before we proceed with examining the components, let's have a foundation. LMP's title is book, Questions Are the Answers. A research workflow is established to solve a problem, improve on an existing solution, and or prevent a problem. Each component of an academic research workflow and writing is asking some critical questions, and the conceptualization, design, and integration of a research process are directly dependent on how clear a researcher is about these questions. So let's start with the introduction. The introduction section sets the stage for the research and helps establish its importance and relevance. The section asks three major questions: what, how, why? The what question: what is this about? That is why we have background of the study to provide context for the research, typically demanding the researcher to provide information about the problem or gap, the relevance of the study, and the current state of knowledge in this field, including a brief overview of previous research or theories relevant to the topic. How? How is it about what it is about? How is the problem or gap a challenge? Usually, the point of the statement of the problem in the introduction section. It is typically asking about the underlying themes or gaps of the research and how they relate to the broader topic or field of study. And the third question, why? Why is it about what it is about? This is typically asking why the research is important and what gaps or questions the study aims to address. This is the point of the aim and objectives of the study, research questions, justification, and scope of the study. It also demands information about the underlying assumption behind the study. Then let's move ahead to literature review. A literature review is a crucial part of academic writing, helping to situate the research within the existing body of knowledge and provide a foundation for the study's methodology and findings. The literature review section asks two major questions: why and how? Why? Why is the current academic exploration needed? And this is typically asking questions including what is the current state of knowledge on the topic? What are the key concepts, theories, or models in the field? What methodologies have been used in previous research? What are the main findings and conclusions of previous studies? What are the strengths and limitations of the existing research? What are the gaps or unresolved questions in the literature? What are the conflicting or contradictory findings in the existing research? And what are the implications of the existing research for practice or policy? Then the question how is the research significantly relevant among the further studies needed in this area? And how does this research contribute to or build upon existing knowledge? An excellent review of the literature provides fertile soil and a solid foundation for purposeful and innovative research exploration and integration that are expressively useful to society. All right, now let's proceed to materials and methods, referred to as methodology in some quarters. The materials and methods section provides a detailed description of the materials used and the methods employed in the research or academic exploration. There are three questions to getting your methodology right. Thus, the session asks three major questions: where, when, how. Where, like where is the study or academic exploration taking place? The study area, experimental site. The second question, when? When is the study or academic exploration going to be carried out? And the third question, how? One important fact that is often overlooked is the understanding that where you want to undertake an academic exploration and when you want to undertake the exploration will influence how you are going to undertake or carry out the exploration. Thus, clarity about the where and when of a study becomes a critical factor in how the research process is conceptualized, designed, and integrated. So, typically, the materials and methods section demands information about the research materials, research methods, standard procedures, data collection and analysis, ethical considerations, and research limitations. So let's head over to results. The results section houses the findings of the studied without interpretation or discussion. The section asks one major question: what? What are the outcomes of the methodologies? The next component is discussion. The discussion sessions provide a critical analysis of the research results, placing them in context with previous knowledge and offering insights into their implications and potential applications. The session asks two major questions, which are why and how. Why are the results how they are? That is, what is the significance of the results? What are the importance and implications of the findings? For the how do the results imply? How do the research findings relate to the research objectives and research questions or hypothesis? So the how question under the discussion session typically asks questions including what are the possible explanation for the findings? What are the implications of the findings? How is the study limited and how has that affected the results? How can the results be applied in real world settings to inform practice or policies? How do the findings inform future research? All these questions help to ensure that the discussion session provides a thorough and insightful analysis of the research results, contributing to the overall understanding of the topic and guiding future research in the field. And finally, let's head over to the conclusion session. The conclusion session provides closure to the academic research and reinforces the main messages and contributions of the study. It explains the broader implication of the research and its relevance to the field. The sessions ask three major questions: what, who, where. For what, for who, at where. For what problem or solution? What problem have the key findings of the study solved? And what solution has the study provided? For whom exactly? which people or group of persons, which organisms, an animal or plant is the solved problem for, and how exactly will the solution serve them? And the third question, at where? Location, space, or environment. Where is the solved problem useful, and how is the solution useful there? These questions ensure that the conclusion section provides a concise and insightful summary of the research, highlighting its significance and contributions to the field. But before we head over to the next item, I believe that it is clear now why I said that the conceptualization, design, and integration of a research process are directly dependent on how clear a researcher is about these questions posed by these components. And moreover, these questions also enable an exciting academic writing experience. Now that we are done with the component of academic research workflow and writing, let's head over to our next item, research work, presentation, manuscript writing. The act of writing academic works such as research papers, articles, or theses is inevitable in academia. And academic writing comes with its own technicalities. However, among other things, there are two key features that set academic writing apart: citations and references. And these two features must be handled with due diligence. Let's start with citation. A citation is a reference to a source of information used in the research or writing of a paper or article. There are basically two ways to do citation in academic writing. One is when the citation comes after the text, and second way is when the citation comes before the text. The citation that comes after the text, like I have here on my slide, Ido et al. 2021 in parentheses, Adeni 2020 in parentheses. This way of citing is adopted when you are using an understanding of a concept, finding, or writing from another author or from a piece of writing. But in the case of the citation that comes before the text, like the second one I have there on my slide, Ido et al. With 2021 in parentheses, Ido et al. With 2021 in parentheses, Adeniyi with 2020 in parentheses. Wherever this type of citation is adopted in academic writing, you are not just using an understanding of a concept, finding or writing. You are also ensuring that no aspect of the text being cited is lost or misunderstood. Though you are not to do a verbatim quotation of the text, but nothing in the original text should be liable to misinterpretation in the new text. Now, let's take a look at some examples for more clarity. Let's say in an article published by Ido et al. 2021, they reported the use of X antibiotics at 5 milligrams in a 1-gram diet of 2-week-old broiler chickens resulted in up to 2.5 milligrams of antibiotic residue and a decrease of about 10.1 grams per day in the chicken's growth rate. And your current study is on the use of certain antibiotics in the treatment of fish disease. In writing your manuscript, citing this report can take any of the two forms of citation, citing after or before the test. For citations after the test, you can cite the report as the use of antibiotics in farmed animals can impart a high antibiotic residue and low yield by affecting the animal growth capacity. Then you put in parentheses, Ido et al. 2021. While for citation before the test, your citation of the report can be like this one I have on the slide. According to Ido et al. 2021, the 2021 in parentheses, using X antibiotics at a dosage of 5 milligram in a 1 kilogram diet of 2-week-old broiler chickens led to the presence of approximately 2.5 milligram of antibiotics residue and a reduction of around 10.1 gram per day in the chicken's growth rate. All right. However, it is important to note that the illustration shared here might not be applicable to some citation styles. Okay, so that brings us to the next item, references. In academic writing, references are a list of all the sources cited in the paper. The references section provides complete bibliographic information for each source, allowing readers to locate the original work if they wish to read more or verify the information. Typically, the references section includes author's name or names, publication year, the title of the work, the source of the publication, volume and issue, if it is a journal article, page numbers, if it is a journal article or book chapter. However, the references section is typically formatted according to the recommended citation style of your institution or the journal where the article is going to be published. And it is worth noting that the choosing citation side dictates the order and formatting of the bibliographic information. And if you would like to delve into citations and references formatting proper, we have a comprehensive tutorial on how to save yourself hours, days, or weeks worth of work formatting your citations and the references. The link to that is right there in the description section. All right, finally, in this video, PowerPoint presentation. PowerPoint presentation plays a crucial role in the academic research workflow, helping researchers communicate their ideas, concepts, and findings effectively to a wider audience. PowerPoint presentations are commonly used in academic settings such as conferences, seminars, and lectures to communicate information in a clear and organized manner. A PowerPoint presentation typically consists of slides that contain text, images, graphs, charts, and other visual elements to enhance the presentation and make the information more engaging and easier to understand. Now, the challenge for many researchers is how to organize their presentations in such a manner that their audience can see what is on their slides clearly from wherever they are in the hall or auditorium. And for this, we have a presentation rule that takes care of that challenge for you. It is called the 3-4-24 rule. Here is what the rule is about. In your presentation slides, the highest number of lines per bullet should be 3 lines, not more than 4 bullets per slide, and the least font size of 24 points. By following these rules, oh, before I come to that, I'd also like to recommend some useful font types for achieving a simple and classic PowerPoint presentation. For your title, Trebuchet MS or area in bold form will be magical. Trebuchet MS is also great for your bullets, but not in bold form. And for the text in your diagrams, tables, graphs, and chart, caliber body would look great. All right. Also, I'd like to recommend that you limit your color to one color or at most two color combinations all through your slides. But understand that black and white are not considered as colors in this context. All right. Notwithstanding, you can play around with other font types and different colors. But always remember, simple is beautiful and unique. So by following the 3-4-24 rule, using the recommended font size and sticking with not more than two color combinations, you will find it easier to create an amazing PowerPoint presentation that catches the attention of your audience. All right. So thank you so much for being here. If you got value from this video, I will really appreciate it if you hit the like button so that more students and academics can find the video. If you want to learn more about academia, academic research, workflows, and writing, be sure to subscribe to the channel and turn on your notifications so you don't miss any of our content. Until next time, gracias.